Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to video games and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well today. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of Justice League International Annual Number 2. This was released in 1988, or at the end of 1987, and it is one of the earliest post-crisis comics that I have. I do love the post-crisis era. I've talked about this before. I've reviewed the first, few issues of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. I'll leave those linked, their post-crisis rebooted origin stories and some of their issues afterwards. But I don't have a lot of single issues. I do try to keep single issues, to a minimum, so I don't, get even more cluttered than I already am, because, I don't have a lot of space, so I want to keep it, manageable. But I bought this at Toronto Fan Expo 2025 for 12 Canadian dollars from a lovely woman who was selling her comic books because, she needed the money. And, she gave me good deals on quite a few issues. One of them was a reprint of the first appearance of Captain Marvel. But anyways, I bought this mainly because of the cover. I'll buy a comic for a few different reasons. A, because it's part of a story arc that I want to collect. B, because I know who worked on it and I like their work. Or C, because it's got a cool cover. This is, option number C. I was like, ooh, Justice League, ooh, versus the Joker. Sign me up, baby. And yeah, it's also written by J.M. DeMatteis, who's one of my favorite comic book authors. He wrote my favorite Spider-Man story, Kraven's Last Hunt. I'll leave a link to my review for that. Although, to be fair, that was very early on in my YouTube career. The quality of that video is lacking as opposed to my current way of making videos. But, if you still want to check out my thoughts on that, spoiler alert, I love it. It's beautifully written and drawn. But getting back into JLI Annual Number 2, this wraps up the stories that they had been telling throughout 87 and sets up the stories for 1988. Although this, what is Justice League International? Now, post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, they did a story called Legends, which was like in the month or second month following Crisis had concluded. The Justice League of America reforms. They get decimated, spoiler alert, but the JLA reforms, and so now they are an official branch of the United Nations. So it's the Justice League International. They've got a Soviet superhero, they've got American superheroes, they've got Brazilian, Norwegian, Japanese, people from all over the world and from other worlds are on the Justice League at this point. The only original Justice League member, there are two of the original Justice League members on this roster, and those two are Batman and Martian Manhunter. And so in the entire premise of this story could be summed up quite quickly. The Joker wants to get revenge on Batman, and he knows that Batman is a member of the Justice League, and he knows that Maxwell Lord is a U.S. government liaison to the League. So he breaks into Maxwell Lord's office looking for his records. he finds his Rolodex. He's like, oh, I can, use this information to track down possible Batman, guys who could be Batman and kill them to get my revenge on Batman for constantly defeating me. So and while he is in the office, this guy whose name is hard to pronounce, but it's made up because he's the ruler of a made-up country in the Middle East, who's a minor villain for the JLI because he keeps on, hiring supervillains to kill them and cause trouble, and bomb Israel and Syria and all that crap. But he is like, oh, Joker, I know you. So I'll pay you to, help me out here and kill Batman, even though you're already going to do that for free. But, if you kill Batman, that will help me destabilize the Justice League. And Joker's like, sounds like a deal. And Joker kidnaps this woman and has her drive him around New York City. And he gets up to all kinds of shenanigans trying to kill the members of the League. Like, he has, the dictator's secret police help him track them down. So he tracks down Fire and Ice to Central Park. He's going to snipe them, but then Fire ducks because she's tying her shoe. And then, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold go on a side quest to get new jobs because Blue Beetle lost his company. And Michael is always looking for a quick buck. And so they do like a repo job, and they go to this warehouse, and it's a mob warehouse. So they're like, oh, they got a tank. We'll take that tank and, turn it into the authorities and get paid. And so, they're in this tank driving around New York City causing a ruckus, and Joker's trying to pick off Martian Manhunter. But, he and Rocket Red, who's the Russian superhero, go to a Russian restaurant. And, it's just, Joker's like, I can't go and kill them in there. There's a whole bunch of people in there. And then he goes back to the car and he's like, oh, wait, I'm the Joker. Let me go. And they're gone. Crap. All right, babe. Now, this is just my interpretation. So please do not take this as fact. I could be wholeheartedly wrong in misinterpreting the subtext, but the implication is that the Joker assaults this poor woman. And, I mean, it's in character for the Joker, especially post-crisis, but still, it's not very comfortable for me reading it. I'm like, oh, crap. But, it's well written and well drawn, and it's entertaining, but, that little bit is like, ew. But again, it's something that the Joker would do. And there's this, bit where, so it all comes to a head where Mr. Miracle and his wife Big Barda are having a picnic for the Justice League at their house in the suburbs just outside New York City. And Joker steals the tank from Booster Gold and Blue Beetle when they park it. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to use the cannon to blow you all to Kingdom Come. Check out my review of Kingdom Come. But then Big Barda and Martian Manhunter just smash the tank because they're super strong. And Joker's like, oh shit. Well, alright, take me back to Arkham. And Oberon, who is Mr. Miracle's talent agent, he presses the signal to call Batman. He's like, oh, the Joker, I gotta call Batman. And so New York City and Gotham City are pretty close together because Gotham City is based on New York City, so it's in New York State. So in the fictional DC universe, Gotham's like, a few counties over from the Big Apple. So Batman's like, oh, I gotta take the highway. Oh boy, it's rush hour. Damn it. And, I just love the ending because it's hilarious. But that poor woman. So, here we have John and Barda smashing the tank. John's in his human disguise. And the faces of the shock is just so well done. But anyway, Joker's like, all right, take me back to Arkham. I'm done with this. And we get an advertisement for the rebooted Atom series. And Ice, uses her powers to stop the remnants of the tank from crushing them. I'm going to read you this word for word. So, John is like, Batman? Barda's like, well, look who's arrived, just when we don't need him. Although I suppose he could drive his Batmobile into my neighbor's dining room, because the tank crushed part of her neighbor's house. Manhunter's like, I believe Beetle called him on the signal device. Okay, I'm sorry, it was Blue Beetle, not Oberon. I was looking at Oberon, and then I saw the word balloon. I got all jumbled up. Batman's like, this had better be important. Coming all the way from Gotham in rush hour traffic. What the devil is... Nope, not today. I'm really not in the mood for this. Then he just turns around, and Joker's like, and Scott's like, I can't believe it. He just drove by. What's going on? What's wrong with him? Doesn't he want a hot dog? No! Wait, Betty boy! Wait! Take me with you! Save me, my dark knight in not so shining armor! Save me! Joker's running after the Batmobile, yelling for Batman to save him from these idiots. Because the JLI are really chuckleheads. And not in the good way. And then we cut back to... cut ahead 2 weeks, where Joker ends up in the Middle East, and he kills the guy who hired him. So Joker just goes to, a country, murders its dictator, but, he's the Joker. He doesn't care about politics and all that bullshit. Except for when he's blaming Ronald Reagan's handling of the economy and Batman: A Death in the Family. Check out my review of that. Then we get this advertisement for The World of Metropolis, which is a mini-series about Metropolis. Who would have thunk it? But... yeah, that is Justice League International Annual number 2. I enjoy it. Like I said, I think it's very well written, and the art is very good. I like the colors, the lining, the lettering is good. It's just that one implication, and it could just be my misinterpretation of it, but I think that the Joker did something bad to that poor woman, and I don't want to get into specifics because YouTube is very strict with what can and cannot be said on their website, and I respect that. I signed the contract saying I'm not gonna say that unless I mark it rated R, but I want people to see this. So yeah, wearing my Fallout video game t-shirt, drinking my coffee out of a Spider-Man mug, and reviewing a Justice League book. This truly is the National Timely Action Hour. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Once again, my name is Aiden, and if you enjoyed it, then please click the like button. If you're new to my show, then please subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when I post new videos. Please leave a comment telling me your thoughts on this story, or just leaving any suggestions or constructive criticisms. In the description of this video, you'll find the link to my podcast, so if you'd like to hear me discuss similar topics but in audio format, then please subscribe and share that with your friends, and share this with your friends if they're interested in this sort of content. And you will also find in the description the links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and Discord pages, so you can send me messages or just stay up to date on my channel and podcast. And you'll also find the links to my merch store and Patreon page. On the merch store, you can buy a coffee cup or a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt or a sweater with my channel's logo on it and a funny quote. And on Patreon, you can get early access to my content as well as original content, and you can read my original writing projects. For example, I have a Doctor Who fan script that I am almost completing at the time of recording. It is near the end of May 2026. So I'm hoping to get it done by mid-June or late June at the least. But I've been working on it for several months. So, yeah, you'll find that as well as poetry and short stories that I've written. And, you know, you'd just be supporting the channel and being able to see cool stuff. But if you just want to watch my videos for free on youtube.com, that is perfectly fine by me. And once again, I sincerely appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and for supporting me so that I can stop living with my mother. But then again, this economy is so bad. But have a wonderful day, or at least try to. And I'm so sorry if you're having a bad day, but hopefully things will get better for you.